Hello, Miss Lee. I'm Yee Tian. Today, I will be presenting my individual assignment, The 7 Lamps of Architecture Through Appreciation, Awareness, and Importance of Architecture, Heritage, and Conservation. Of building overview, it is located in Bavaria, Germany, and was built in the 18th century after tears were apparently seen coming from a wooden statue in 1738. The thought of such a miracle needed an appropriate building to house it, and the small chapels that was originally erected was not enough. Something bigger and grander was needed, not just to commemorate the events, but to house all the pilgrimage that would come. The architecture style is known to be Bavarian Rococo style and soon become one of the Europe's most important pilgrimage sites. Conservation method, well preserved and lasting, protected by the related authorities to ensure the visuals and build integrity and its immediate surrounding. Remains unchanged and undergo restoration in 1984 due to serious deterioration. The importance in conserving pilgrimage church office is sectioned out in two factors, the tangible and intangible. The church is a masterpiece of Bavarian Rococo and qualified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Much of the time spent building it was focuses on the artistic element inside, the interior space. The tangible factor, the decorative ornamentation at the interior and pray at the feast of the famous effigy. Explosions of colors and intricate detail. All art forms and techniques used, architecture, sculpture, painting, stucco work, carving, ironwork, etc. were melded by the architect into a perfect unified whole in order to create a definite special structure of light and form. The lively colors of the paintings bring out the sculpted detail and produce a like and living decor of unprecedented richness and refinements. The abundance of motif and figures, the fluidity of the lines, the skillful opening of surfaces, and the lights continually offers the observer fresh surprises. Intangible factor. The pilgrimage church of Greece is regarded as an exceptional testimony of cultural and religious traditions. It's significant as a destination for pilgrims from across the region. It is for the pilgrims. The story of the place and statue. Story of a fascinating legends associated with a Jesus statue houses inside the church. According to the legends, the large carved wooden Jesus now at the heart of the church once cried actual tears. Interestingly, there is a long story of weeping religious statue, but most have been dismissed by the Catholic Church as hoaxes. The weeping statue of Jesus at Greece have been thoroughly investigated by the Catholic Church and unhauled as a miraculous event, meaning for people. Because of this statue, history, over 1 million travelers make the journey here each year to marvel at the beautiful interior and pray at the feet of the famous effigy. And it's the Rococo interior in particular that makes the pilgrimage church of Greece so special. The lamps of life, theories and philosophy. Life means that buildings should be handmade by the local architects. From Ruskin, he said, I believe the right question to ask respecting all ornaments is simply this. Was it done by the enjoyment? Was the carver happy while he was about it? And so long as men work as men, putting their hearts into what they do and doing their best, it matters not how bad workmen they may be. There will be that in the handling which is above all price. From that, I think architects who support authenticity, beauty, and craft without compromising on moral and aesthetic grounds bring the joy or atmosphere associated with the expression freedom. Given to them, they could never be done like a machine. An exceptional testimony of cultural and religious tradition. There is many to whom the difference is imperceptible, but to those who love poetry, it is everything. They have rather not hear it at all than ill read. And to those who love architecture, the life and essence of the hands are everything by Ruskin. I think a good architecture occurs when there is dreaming enough, earthiness enough, and sensuality enough in human existence, without altering the few glowing moments of it into mechanism. And since our life must at the best but a vapor that appears for a little time and then vanish away, let it at least appear at a cloud in the heights of heavens, not as the thick darkness that broods over the blast of the furnace and rolling of the wheels. In our own acts of creation, although we cannot animate, we can impress our intellectual vigor and instinctive vivaciousness in what we can make. What we create and how we go about those activities can have a most personal effect upon us, bringing us joy, enlivening our soul, or drowning us dry, or suppressing our spirits. I think a good art building is built out with purpose and thoughts with the putting of heart and efforts. The building must not only consider the exterior but also the interior as design as a whole. Every fragment in the building signifies to the user experience. Structure thoughts important, however, same goes for its design, layout, and form. Moving on, talking about the appreciation, the awareness, and the important. The appreciations the building for its unique architecture style because of its beautiful of Rococo architecture and interesting history. Thankful for the elaborate detailing in space plus also the unchanged design features in works for exterior and interior expertly in its original glory after restoration. Awareness to promote the captivating history of religion, arts, and architecture. Plus, to allow Catholics to have additional depth here to house many tangible and intangible factors that should be preserved for the future and to next generation. The important architecture, heritage, and conservation of building is a vital and critical effort as preserving a building not only just based on the structure itself, but instead hold the identity of the place, stretches beyond the physical representations, attributing more to the heritage value of the Bavarian Rococo architecture style and the indestructible spirit of Jesus as a house to protect and preserve its design integrity as a whole. Conclusion: the Pilgrimage Church office is a magnificent masterpiece from the past. The interior architecture is the important features of the church that attracts tourism and attention around the world. Its interior decoration becomes the main reason for local authorities and international organizations to preserve and conserve this building. Due to its detailed craftsmanship and design, becomes technical for current workers to actually craft back into its original state. All in all, professional workers and organizations were needed to maintain and protect this holy site and remains its cultural and historical value. The reference. Thank you so much for the presentation.